Hey people, it's Brian. Yeah, scale bar. A little bit of frustration going on there today, and for me too. I have gotten it right in the past, and today I punted on some of the details, I suppose. So I dug in. First thing you need to know about it is it will not work very well when you have the snap to grid feature turned on. And we talked about that, and that is really helpful when you're moving things around in your layout. And so make sure, first off, that snap to grid is not turned on. That's down here. It wasn't for me. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel because if you're trying to resize your scale bar and you have snap to grid turned on, it will jump around in unpredictable kind of random looking elements. So instead of a nice clean 500-mile long scale bar, you'll end up with something like 520 miles. So snap to grid turned off, insert scale bar. Pay attention here to make sure which your currently active layer is. I'm going to go ahead and activate Conus. So that is going to give me a scale bar. When I say insert scale bar, it's going to be one for this data frame, continental US data frame. So insert scale bar, move it over here. Alternating is always a pretty nice looking choice. So alternating scale bar 1, you can try to fiddle around with properties right off the bat, or just do what I'm going to show you. Say, take the OK and start messing around with it and try to get it right kind of interactively. The first thing I would recommend after you've placed it is you grab this right hand resize, not one of the corners, but right hand middle, and drag it down. I'm going to shoot for a nice even 1,000 mile and start to mess around with it, get it to look right from there. So now I've got it to 1,000 miles, and actually that's pretty good right there. So that's a decent enough looking scale bar, maybe a little bit big, you could argue. If you wanted to tweak it from here, let's go into right click on it and hit properties, move things out of the way. You can change the number of divisions to, in this case, we've got 4 divisions. So if you look over here, that's 250, 500, 750, 1000. That is 4 divisions of 250 each. Let's say I wanted to make it at 200-mile increments. I would bump it up to 5 divisions, click apply, and that's what that looks like. So that's how things work as far as the divisions. If you wanted to, you could cut down the number of subdivisions. That's this first little increment here. You could cut that down because maybe you don't think that's necessary to 2, and yeah, call that good. So let's click OK there. Let's see if we can get a little bit different scale bar going on for let's do Hawaii. That's a little bit different challenge there. So go to the Hawaii in the table of contents, hit activate, and now anything that I do in the Hawaii as far as inserting annotation, scale, north arrow, all that kind of stuff will apply to the Hawaii data frame because it's the active one. So again, insert scale bar. We're going to keep it the same. We don't want to mix around scale bar types too much. Going to hit OK. Now notice it appears up here in Conus. We don't want that. We're doing Hawaii. Just keep that in mind. I'm going to get the left edge of it nicely lined up with the one for Conus. What looks like a reasonable number for the mileage here? Maybe here's where zooming in is going to come in handy for you. So let's remember which zoom tool you want to use. I'm using the one that's in the layout toolbar. They do kind of different things. You zoom around in the data frame versus zooming around in the layout. I want to zoom in on the layout. getting it down to, and we go back to the drawing toolbar to make sure the selection tool is chosen. And maybe 100 miles is a reasonable scale bar for Hawaii. Let's go with that. Right click, properties. Let's take down the number of divisions to, let's see, we've got 100 miles. We're getting kind of busy here with so many divisions. We could just take it down to 2 divisions, see what that looks like. At that point, we've got an okay looking map. Maybe that is actually pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4 subdivisions. Maybe that's too many. Let's take that down to 2. Click apply. Yeah, that's pretty clean looking to my eye. You've got a 100-mile long scale bar, nice even increment. It shows you what 25 looks like. It shows you what 50 looks like. Let's call that good. Zoom it back out a couple of times. Make sure it makes sense in the overall map layout. And yeah, there is my CONUS and Hawaii scale bar setup. By first, lay the thing down. Don't sweat the details. Zoom in if you need to. Get the scale bar to a nice even increment, and then go into its properties and change the divisions to get it cleaned up a little bit so that it's more acceptable to people like me. And I will not ding you for your present homework if the scale bar isn't perfect, but I will expect in the future that your scale bars will behave themselves better since I've shown you this. Hope it helps. Have a great weekend.